Since 2003, we've been given an Underworld movie every 3 years. It's 2012, I guess it's time for another one. It's a sequel to part 2. So I guess it's part 3, though it's part 4, because part 3 was a prequel, and man, this is really confusing. In Underworld Awakenings, Kate Beckinsale returns to the franchise as the vampire hybrid thing, death dealer, whatever you call it. The movie starts out as the world knows about lichens and vampires. If you haven't seen the franchise, lichens is kind of a werewolf thing. Anyways, so the world is after vampires, killing them one by one, trying to kill the lichens one by one to get rid of them once and for all. So Kate's character is on the run to try and find that hybrid friend of hers, whatever you call it. She's about to reconnect with the hybrid when suddenly she's captured and put away. She's frozen in time, pretty much. She wakes up. She thinks it's just the next day, but it's been a really, really long time since she's been out in the world. She's on a mission to pretty much find out what went wrong, where has she been, who's captured her, and to just get out of there and find her kind again. So she can go about her business going back to, killing lichens. It's worked for her for 2 films, should work for a 3rd. Also starring in this film is Stephen Ray, Charles Dance, and Wes Bentley. It was really good to see some of these characters, but they're not on screen very long, and I wish they would get more work, because they're really good actors. For me, the Underworld movies are kind of overblown. They want to capture that Matrix look. Kate Beckinsale is all in leather, she's jumping around, she's really menacing. She doesn't really have a personality, she's pretty much soulless. I mean, she's a vampire, so I'm not surprised that she's soulless. I never really felt involved or even cared about what was going on. The funny thing about it is, I've seen all these movies in the theaters. For some reason, I just don't know, maybe just to try and find a glimmer of some sort of originality. It hasn't happened yet. I always want to try and give these movies a chance, because they do have great visuals. One thing that is nice is that we get to see vampires and werewolves, lichens, in something that could be kind of scary and menacing. Unlike another franchise that's out there, it's really cool to see vampires and werewolves in a world where we can believe that they exist there. Surprisingly, this film I kind of liked. A little bit more than those mediocre last films, those really dull Underworld movies. It moves at a fast pace. It gets through what it needs to get through. There's not a lot of dialogue where tell you what's going on and what's going on over here and we got to get over here. There's not a lot of that. It's just pretty much explain, action, explain, action, end. And that was quite refreshing. I really enjoyed that the CGI kind of looked like stop motion. It was weird. Maybe it's just me, but watching the movie, it felt like we were maybe back in the 80s when you had to do frame by frame by frame of a creature just to get to him on screen. That was kind of cool. It was probably CGI, but it looked to me like stop motion. Also, when you see the lichens and they're fighting the vampires, that's a guy in a suit. It's practical. It's right there on the set. It feels kind of real, a little cheesy and goofy, but it's there. It's on screen, and that's nice. I mean, yeah, there's CGI fighting, and then suddenly there's a real person in a suit fighting the character, and that's really nice too. The last thing I really liked about this movie was that there was this really huge CGI lichen that was really scary. If I was a kid seeing this movie, I would have nightmares. I wouldn't be able to sleep at all. It was really cool. Kate Beckinsale has a really great fight with this creature at the very end, and it was really exciting to watch. I don't know who to recommend this movie for. I guess if you're a fan, you'll really enjoy it. If you've really invested your time into these characters and you're able to follow what's going on. But if you're walking into a theater, they do give you a little recap, like what happened on the next episode, so you can enjoy the film. But again, it's still the old mediocre story they've been telling since 2003. I'm going to give Underworld Awakenings 2.5 stars.